giving you an opportunity to get the full story from the people who tell it best. This is Mediacom Newsleaders.
Thanks for joining us on Mediacom Newsleaders. I'm Rob Brooks and pleased to be joined by Elizabeth Kissling, the Development and Marketing Director for Foundation 2. Elizabeth, thanks so much for stopping by once again, and give us an overview of what Foundation 2 does in the community.
Sure. Foundation 2 is a resource for people in crisis in our community. So all of our services were created as a response to that. We have a 24-hour crisis hotline, we have a youth shelter, we have support groups, we have therapists, a food pantry, independent living options, a lot of different things.
What ages do you serve?
That's a great follow-up question because our services really are for people of all ages. Some specific programs like our youth shelter are for kids 11 to 17, but a lot of the things like our mobile crisis outreach or our crisis hotline are for people really of all ages.
When you talk about crisis in the community, is there an uptick in some going on right now more than others?
You know, looking at spring, we tend to get more calls related to people who are having thoughts of suicide. So we're having a lot of suicide-related contacts with people. But in general, we just are seeing more people use our services, which is good and bad. It's good that more people know that we're there and are seeking the help, but it's also, you know, unfortunate that so many people are experiencing crisis right now.
And that's really where you need some help from the community.
Definitely, yes. And there are lots of ways that people can support Foundation 2. One, of course, is with financial support. You know, we rely on that to keep our services running. People don't pay any money to call the crisis line or to use our food pantry or most of our services. But we also have volunteer opportunities as well, where people can get involved and directly help the clients that we serve.
How can they do that?
Best way to learn more is to visit our website at foundation2.org. We have information about the volunteer needs and opportunities, and you can fill out information to get started with volunteering right there.
Is there the different crisis that they can get involved with?
We don't typically use volunteers to provide counseling services, but there are other ways that you can help clients.
How about some of the events that you have coming up?
We have 2 dates right now for the Farmers Market in Green Square Park coming up this summer, so we're really looking forward to that. And I'm currently working on arranging some other fundraising and organization kind of information events for the community. So stay tuned on our website or follow us on Facebook or sign up for a newsletter through email to learn more.
Well, summer, that sounds pretty good. I'm looking forward to that.
I know.
How about some of the other groups too, because you're dealing with the Foundation 2, but also involved with other groups in the community.
Yes, Foundation 2 works really well with other organizations. We have started a group called the Linn County Suicide Prevention Coalition with other human service and interested parties in the community to look at ways to prevent suicide. I'm personally involved in Leaders in Volunteerism, trying to find ways that we can use volunteers in the community, and Foundation 2 members are involved in a lot of other groups too to try to, you know, strengthen our community and families.
How did it start and when?
Sure, that's a great question. Foundation 2 was started in 1970, actually by a group of Coe College and Kennedy High School students who saw a need for alternative crisis services in the community. So it really shows that students and anyone can make a big difference.
Well, there's no question about that because it's so important, and you know, with things happening in the community, you have to be able to react to what's going on.
Yes. Very true.
And talk about some of the community involvement as well with some of the groups you mentioned, but also maybe some of the others that you mentioned you're involved with.
Sure. Well, part of what Foundation 2 tries to do is see needs in our community that are not currently being met and then work with other partners to try to find a way to provide services to help with that need. So one thing that we are a part of is AMP, which is for kids that have aged out of foster care. And right now we're partnering with Junior League volunteers to once a month provide services to those kids to have different trainings and ways to prepare them for college, and they cook a meal together, and it's just a really cool partnership.
Well, Elizabeth, thank you for all the work that you're doing. I really appreciate you stopping by once again today.
Thank you for having me.
That is Elizabeth Kissling with Foundation 2. She is the Development and Marketing Director. And we thank you very much for coming. And this has been Mediacom Newsleaders, your opportunity to get the full story from reliable sources exclusively here on Mediacom Newsleaders.